management, and I wanted to take this as an elective for that.
Okay. Adrit,
Sir, in a previous course, we learned like financial accounting very generally, and I was intrigued by intangible assets. So I was wondering maybe in this course I would learn a lot about their constitution and everything.
okay. Anup,
Sir, so I'm pursuing the minor itself, so that's why.
okay. And Sushant,
Like as I mentioned, I wanted to study patenting and like prevent copying of products.
okay. Now I'll tell you that uh, uh, intellectual property rights are very important, and I think all engineers and managers must know basics of IPRs because it has got a lot of proactive use. And those who do not, you know, uh, have adequate knowledge, they are not doing justice to their job. Okay, I have a long presentation which I will, show you a few slides. Okay, which will give you the idea that how important the IPRs are. Okay, and but before that, I would like to share with you the uh, uh, the course contents. Okay, course contents and the evaluation policy, right? So just tell me, uh, you are able to see this slide?
Yes,
Hmm?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Achha, okay. When you are able to see this slide, you know this it is MSL 802 Management of IPRs. Just you, can you read this? Is it adequate size wise? Very briefly, with the establishment of World Trade Organization WTO in 1995, the globalization process started picking up at a fast pace due to the substantial reduction in customs duties across the world and reduction in other barriers to imports. This resulted in global opportunities for all firms, SMEs as well as the large companies and MNCs. All companies could import and from and export to most parts of the world, which was not possible earlier. This defined new norms for the firm's growth. The theory of survival of the fittest. Okay, survival of the fittest. Uh, the theory of survival of the fittest. Let me put everything right. Became more relevant. All companies could compete with each other and rapidly grow under the new norms of global competition. Okay, these are some of the important things. By way of outsourcing components or human resources or even finished products, along with adopting technology for offering improved and new products to the customers, which is the sense of increasing importance of patents and other IPRs since 1990s. Okay, so 1995 this happened, and now I'm just come to the course contents. You can see this. See the law experts earlier, the IPRs were taught by the law faculty, but law faculty can teach the IPRs best to law students, but not to the management and engineering students. Whereas I cannot teach IPRs to law students because they talk of the act, patent act, copyright act under this section and that section, and what is the infringement. They talk only about these aspects, whereas I'll be talking more about the what the aspects which are important for the managers and engineers. So first I'll be talking to you about the types of IPRs and importance of IPRs in the WTO era. Then backgrounds of TRIPS agreement, how from GATT to WTO through incorporating TRIPS agreement. Okay, TRIPS agreement is TRIPS. TRIPS is trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. I'll discuss with you this also. Then innovations and patents, importance of patents, patent application, the draft of the patent application, and the how much money you have to pay for filing the patent application in India, and the it is renewable every year, so every year you have to pay at an increasing rate. I'll discuss those aspects also. Then international patent filing, that means if you want to file your patent in other countries, because you get the protection of your invention on only those countries where you get your patent granted. So if you want to protect in 10 countries, you have to apply in those 10 countries. So that is then only you can get protection in those 10 countries when it is granted to you. Then patent search and patent search site. What is the patent search and patent search sites? See, when you all of you are aware of the journals and you are doing the literature review, and literature review is done through different journals. When you go to the library, you want to find out a book on in the field of chemical engineering, so you have to go to that particular section. So similarly, in patents, there are millions of patents which are being filed every year. Over 3 million patents are being filed every year. So now similarly, there is a classification of patents, classification of trademarks, classification of designs. On basis of such classification, you go exactly to classification, sub-classification, sub-classification, so that you can see exactly the patents in your field. Rather than going through 1 million patents, which will take you years. So you go to the particular type of patents in that particular field which you are interested in. Okay, then I'll talk to you about some patents, examples of patents, intellectual property or patent valuation, intellectual property portfolio or patent portfolio management. Then there are certain international treaties and conventions, particularly the Paris Convention, very important. Berne PCT, very important. And for copyright is the Berne Convention, which is for the copyright. Okay. And there are some other conventions also, like Olympic sports, Olympic Games got concluded yesterday. The Olympic symbol is there. You cannot use Olympic symbol as a trademark. Okay, those 11 rings are there, but you cannot use that as the thing. Now, there is a organization called World Intellectual Property Organization. Okay, this WIPO is the apex body which is administering all the international conventions, and they give up they provide a worldwide worldwide database on IPRs in all the countries. Okay, then industrial designs. What is the difference between industrial designs, trademark, copyright, and related rights, and all these things? These are also important. And so these are the geographical indication, the Geographical Indication Act, Indian geographical indications. Now, what is the geographical indication? You have heard of champagne. Champagne is the sparkling wine, which is of very special quality, and therefore it is several times more expensive than normal wines. So these are the Darjeeling tea. Similarly, these are important. Then traditional knowledge. Traditional knowledge is like turmeric. All of you know about turmeric as the there was a turmeric case. The wound healing property of turmeric was patented by two persons in USA, and there was nothing new in it. There was no invention. It is a household knowledge in India. Turmeric or haldi is very important, good for your wound healing property. So, and then therefore there is a TKDL is Traditional Development Digital Library. Okay, we'll talk about it, what was the background and all that. Then Government of India came up with National IPR Policy. Okay, so that is in 2016. So basic aspects of the policy and IPRs and corporate sector, how the IPRs are important for all people in the corporate sector, and what should be the IPR policy for academic institutions like IITs and all that. Okay, so these are the various topics which I will be discussing. And if you want to add some more topics, we can add more topics. Okay. So now this is the evaluation policy. We have only one midterm test. It is called midterm or minor. I don't remember exactly. What is it known as nowadays? I will just tell you. It is, name has not changed. It is a minor test, which will be 30 marks. Major test 40 marks and 2 term papers of 20 marks and 10 marks. Okay. So we'll have 12 classes before the minor and 14 classes after the minor, and the minor test is at this time, and major is Major is 15th to 24th November. Okay. So in this, anything you want to, any inputs from your side? Tell me. Anything you would like to add, delete, say, comments, observations? You can unmute. Jishan, have you muted everybody?
No, sir. I haven't muted anyone.
So, now just open your camera. All of you, please. Mr. Mohammed Zishan is the TA for this course. He is doing PhD in our department here in management department, and you can see him also. He is doing PhD, and that formally I'll tell you about myself, a little bit background, and then I'll tell you that why I am not the course coordinator technically. Okay. So first let me tell you that I joined IIT Delhi in 1985, and I superannuated from IIT Delhi 5 years back. So 5 years or 4.5 years back. So when I was a regular full-time faculty in IIT Delhi for 35 years, I was in a position to, I used to be the coordinator of the course. But IIT Delhi system wants a regular full-time faculty should be the course coordinator. Course can be taught by anybody. So I am teaching the course, but I'll be interacting with you, but up to the grading stage. After grading of the course and everything, the grades will be entered in the system by the technical course coordinator, who is Dr. Ari Akeda. She is a professor in our department. She is Japanese national, and she has joined the department as an assistant professor. So she will be coming and joining this group. Hannah Jishan?
Yes, sir. She will be joining in the later part. I think
later
around
part
3
of the later part of the this our class, she told that she will be there right in the beginning, but she had got some other commitment. So she sent me a mail that she'll be joining later part of the class. So you will see her also, and we can again interact. So I'll tell you about a few things on IPRs. First, I would like to say that if you feel that some more students will be uh, interested in this course, you can ask them, because the number is very small. There was a time when the registration used to be more than 100. And the dean used to say that you cannot have more than 80 people. Okay, 80 was upper limit in management courses. So it's like 80 is upper limit. And there used to be 100, 200, 300 registrations. And I tell you, in about, I think 2003 or so, what happened that during the placements, those students who had done the IPR course, uh, they got a assured offer. Okay, suppose out of 10 people or 15 people, a company wants 2 persons or 3 persons. So those who had taken the IPR course, they were selected instead of all others. And the companies ask them, how do you know so much about the IPRs? They say, we have done a course on IPRs. They say, okay. So they also were given 25% hike. We will give 25% more than what we had promised. What we had planned to offer. We'll give you 25% more package if you join us. So after that particular thing, the next year, because I used to teach this course, one semester I used to teach entrepreneurship, other semester I used to teach IPR, 2 UGs. So in next semester, when I found that 300 pre-registration, so I did not know. I asked the students, why the 300 pre-registration? They said it is all the placement. Placements, they are getting 25% more salary. So that is how this happened. I'll tell you a little more about it. IPR became very important from 1995 when WTO was set up. Why? Because the one fundamental thing about the World Trade Organization is that the customs duties have been brought down. So when customs duties, earlier the customs duties were of the order of 50%, 100%, 200%, 300%. So 300% is a customs duty, and you want to have a home produced television or an imported television. If you say that you want to import a television of say $200, it will cost you here 300% customs duty, $300 duty. Okay, so it is $400, and Indian TV is the price is say $200 in equivalent terms. Okay, so what was the difference? People will import or most people will buy domestic goods? Most people will buy domestic goods because the customs duty is very high. But WTO has reduced the customs duties to a parliament of 20% on an average. So the custom duties are so low that if you import a TV $200, it becomes a 20% custom duty. So you want $240, okay, no problem. $1,000 thing is $1,200, so no problem. And it is 20% is not on everything. On several products it is only 10%, 5%. So the whole world is a market for all the companies in the world. You can export your goods to all over the world, all countries, and this is the biggest advantage of the WTO. And it came into being in 1995, and it has some agreements which are administered by WIPO. And one important agreement is trade related aspects. World Trade Organization, trade, international trade. So trade related aspects of intellectual property rights. What are the IPRs which are important in the international trade? And that was very important thing, and that was incorporated in the Uruguay round of GATT negotiation. GATT is General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. that is international trade tariffs and tariffs on the international trade. So that is there was an agreement in 1947. So I will tell you the basic details of that also, that how in 1947 the GATT, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. It was signed by some 23 countries. India was also part of it, and that general agreement is still one of the agreements of the WTO. So TRIPS agreement is one, GATT is another one, and then the general agreement on general agreement on trade in services, because earlier the GATT was for the merchandise goods exports and imports. International trade in merchandise. Merchandise means physically, which are physically exported and imported, but services are not physically exported and imported. So that is also another agreement. So these are the agreements. So earlier there was only one agreement which was known as GATT, G-A-T-T. Now there are 3 agreements which are primarily administered by World Trade Organization, and TRIPS agreement is one of them. So we'll be talking about these things, India's IPR policy and all these things. So the beginning of the discussions about the WTO as the last round of GATT negotiation started in 1986. Now 86 to 1994, it took 9 years for it to get concluded, and then in 1995 World Trade Organization was set up. So why all these things were discussed and all that, which are also important for all of us to know what was the background. Okay, so with this thing I will be talking to you all these aspects. And about me, I was asked in IIT Delhi to organize a workshop for all IIT Delhi faculty members in 1992. So I organized one workshop in 1992. Then it was a part of the important policy of the Government of India. So other IITs, deans and other professors also asked our IIT Delhi Dean of Research and Development, you have conducted one workshop for IIT Delhi. You conduct one workshop for all IIT professors. So the dean asked me, can you conduct one more workshop? So I conducted that workshop, organized that workshop in 1993 with all outsourced faculty members. I was not an expert. I did not know much about IPRs. I had a broad basic knowledge only. Then I got interested in the field and I went for some advanced training on IPRs conducted by WIPO, World Intellectual Property Right Organization, WIPO, a 2-week foundation course in Sri Lanka, 2-week course in Japan, 2-week course in Singapore. So, and I attended many other courses in India during that period. And then I developed this course and I started teaching this course in 1997-98. So this is how this course came up, and it required a lot of sacrifice in terms of my other domain areas, because and this can be testified by one simple thing, that till date there is nobody else in IIT Delhi who teaches or who has taught or who can teach intellectual property rights. Okay, so from 1998 onwards, it is more than now 20 years plus, I've been teaching this course, and I had been out from IIT Delhi for 3 years, and those 3 years this course was not taught, from 2013 to 2016. And when 3 years a course is not taught, so students don't know about it. And when they don't know about it, they don't take the course. Okay, and that has been the case. Earlier it was very popular course, good course, useful course, because something which you cannot study otherwise, it is difficult. So if you think that you would like to tell your friends to take this course, you can send email to those or your groups, WhatsApp group or something. So it will be good if there are some 30, 40 friends. Huh?
So a lot of my friends want to join this course, but like the portal where we have to apply for the course, it requires us to complete 2 prerequisite courses, and a lot of people haven't done that. So if you could remove those prerequisites, more people can register.
I think this has been. I was told by the HOD last week that these prerequisites have been removed.
Okay. So maybe you could send an email because a lot of people didn't register after that.
So what email ID should I send this email?
So what do you want on the email? The link of this class or what?
Just an information that this course does not require any other prerequisites sent to all students or like 2018 and 2019 entry students.
Okay, so you need a email to be circulated that these prerequisite courses are not required anymore.
Yes, sir.
I do not know which prerequisites have been removed. Okay, but I was told that the prerequisites have been removed. All or many or some, that I do not know exactly. Okay, so this is the thing.
So
Now,
yes, I think all of the prerequisites have been removed. It's just that people are not aware of that fact because I didn't know it by today itself that we were able to register it. I also didn't register it because of the prereq thing. So I think letting people know would be a better idea. So I think
so,
what Maria is suggesting is a fair point.
so according to you, there is no prerequisite whatsoever, eh?
No, sir.
Okay, right. I'll Zishan. Zishan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you tell madam about this thing?
Yes, sir. I will write an email to HOD ma'am regarding it.
No, you write to Dr. Airy and she can write a mail to all people.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
This course is being offered by the department and the prerequisites have been removed and those students who want to take this course. So we cannot send such mail to all the students ourselves. We have to
Yes,
send
sir.
to
That
IT
is
administrator. Okay, this is a precautionary check because it should not be misused by anyone. Therefore, the IIT admission system, there is, I forgot that thing, it is many years. Actually, I was out of IIT Delhi during 2013 to 2016. I was away as Vice Chancellor in a university. So for 3 years I was out, and when I came back, I retired. So, some of these things I am not, they are not so immediate recall kind of a thing for me. But there is an email which we used to send. So I think Zishan, you can organize this,
yes,
right?
yes, sir. I will write it to Professor Airy and she will do the needful.
And when we end the class, for a few minutes we'll be together on this chat. ठीक है ना? 3 of us.
Yes.
And she
Yes,
will be
sir.
joining at the later part of it.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So now I will. What is the time? Say it is 2:40. So first I would like to show you some important things from my first PPT. Okay. And this PPT is not in the, it is a PPT only, but it's in the Word file. And how it is a Word file? My laptop, where I had this particular PPT saved, there was some problem in the laptop and I had to get it, C drive was, um, what do I call it? C drive was, um, uh, um, C drive was reformatted. I don't know exactly what is the technically correct term, but C drive was reformatted. Rest of the drives were there, but C drive. So I did not have the full this thing, and therefore this is the in this particular there is a 134 So I'll be talking to you about intellectual property rights, patents, industrial designs, trademark, geographical indications, and all these things. Copyright, traditional knowledge, and all that. So now I'll tell you that after my superannuation 4 years back, I am adjunct professor in that department, and there are two terms, IP and IPRs. In India, we are very more familiar with IPRs, and in most other countries, people are familiar with IP. So IP in India would connote Indraprastha. Okay, IP apartments in IIT Delhi campus also. So IP has different meanings. So people are very familiar with IPRs, intellectual property rights. So what is intellectual property? Intellectual property is any form of non-physical or intangible property. An owner can use his or her intellectual property in any legal manner. Okay, and the rights on the intellectual property are known as intellectual property rights. Okay, so these are the IPRs. Now these are the major forms of IPRs. I will discuss with you briefly these major forms of IPRs. Can you see this? Patents are for invention. Anything which is invented, your mobile handset was invented, then a mobile with a camera came up, then a mobile with alarm came up, a mobile with different types of ringtones came up. So each new addition of a feature, that means each additional feature has a patent, and when it becomes a new mobile, it is a a more modified product. So there are inventions which are breakthrough inventions, and there are inventions which are not breakthrough but substantial. Like when motor car was invented, first time the Ford Motor started making the motor car. The car, four-wheeler car, for the first time it started in around 1880, 1880s, about maybe 140 years back. So that time there was only one company which started making cars in the world, Ford Motors. So this was a breakthrough invention, because before that, either there were trains were there or ships were there, uh, or steam engine trains and ships, and a bullock cart and horse cart. If you have seen some old movies or many Hollywood movies, you see a horse cart. In Indian movies also you see horse cart, but in a different format. But the European horse cart, they were very, very popular, and uh, people used to go, even the king or the queen had to go only in the horse cart. So first time motor car was a great invention, but that car and today's car, you are in fourth year, I think you must have seen our SAC. There is a small car lying there. Have you seen it? Anyone? You have seen that car, Baby Austin car in the SAC building near swimming pool? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is around 19 late 20s model. A similar car was the first car I drove in my life in 1960s. That was 1928 model. So this also must be almost similar type of model. It was the same identical car. So this car and today's cars, do you find some difference? All this difference is because of addition of so many new features in it. So whether it's window pane, locking system, everything has got a patent. Everything which is invented and added to this is, so patents are for inventions. A patent is the right you get on your invention that nobody else can use your patent without your permission, and you will give permission after getting some royalty or some money. So you can do the technology transfer. So patents are the basic things for this. So patents are for invention. Industrial designs are on the physical appearance of a product. Okay. How the, for the first time, I'll show you. There are two bottles. Apart from the color, there is some difference in the shape of the bottle. This bottle is very narrow here and broad here. So this is Kinley. Okay, can see this? This is the matter of design. When first time bottle was invented for keeping a liquid, it was invention. But now if you keep a different shape of a bottle or this thing, this is the subject matter of design. Now trademark. What is written? Kinley is written here in this coconut water, raw coconut water. What is this thing? 24/7 something. So Coca-Cola. This is a trademark by which a product is known and it is sold. So that is the trademark and that is registered. So patent is granted and all other IPRs which are mentioned here are registered. So patent is granted when you apply for grant of patent. And when the patent is granted, you say I have got a patent granted, but you apply for registration of your design. So design is registered and you have got a certificate of registration of the design. Similarly, you apply for trademark registration. When your proposed trademark is registered, then you start, you say that this is the trademark number under which my trademark is registered. So different water bottles, the this hard drink bottles, they are also different shapes and designs because the producers want to make it more attractive. The design is very important for perfumes. If you put a perfume in this kind of a water bottle which I showed you simply, even if the content is so expensive, say 20,000 rupees worth of perfume, if you put it and you say this is 20,000, 21,000 rupees the price, nobody will buy it. Not a single bottle will be sold. But perfume, it is the spray, the design is very important. So that is the subject matter of design, the trademark. Copyright, you get the rights on what you write. So there are some convention, international convention, Berne Convention, under which what you write is your copyright. Okay, you don't have to necessarily register it. What you have written is your copyright. You write a letter, you write a poem, you write a story, you write a novel, you write anything. Chetan Bhagat wrote, so many books he has written. These are the copyright of the author. Now, copyright of the author can be further, like intellectual property rights are the rights which can be transferred. Like you can transfer your physical property, you have got a wristwatch, you can give it to your younger brother or sister. Okay, your father has got a car, he can give it to you. Okay, and the same car can be registered in your name. So you can have the transfer of actual property. Your mother can give you some gold chain. So that is a actual property, physical property. So you become the owner of that. So similarly, the intellectual property owner can transfer its rights to somebody else. And so copyright is transferable and trademark is transferable. Industrial design rights, patent rights, all things are transferable, as well as you can license anyone to use your IPRs on some agreement basis. Now, layout designs of integrated circuits. You have got the laptop, the entire electronics industry started, it has developed so fast in past 50 years or 60 years. It is all because of the integrated circuits. Earlier, when this circuit system was not in the IC format, at that time, uh, you must have heard of the mainframe computers. Your large size refrigerator in the house, that was the size of a computer, and that capability of that computer was much lesser than the capability of a small laptop today, and that was the mainframe computers. And in IIT Kanpur, where I did my PhD, we used to use the mainframe computers. There was no screen. There was a deck of cards. Card punching system was there. I'll discuss with you when I, talk to you about the computers inventions in that field. Then trade secrets. Trade secrets are secrets. It is not shared with anyone. It is not registered. It is not informed to anyone. Like people say Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has got a secret, and that is the reason that no other cola drink has been able to uh, have, supersede that total business of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola continues to remain the largest selling drink. Even the this Pepsi is not similar to Coca-Cola. Both are fine, both are cola drinks, but somehow the Coke is preferred internationally in most of the countries, and that is the reason uh, the they are able to maintain some secret. Coca-Cola company. Then the plant varieties. Plant varieties are basically the patents in the field of seeds and other plants, and in the agricultural field. These are also patentable. You must have heard of a new variety of seeds, BT cotton. You must have heard of, which has become very controversial. Then the next is geographical indication. Geographical indication like champagne, Darjeeling tea, Alfonso mango. So products are known which are famous worldwide, and because of their special quality and their place of origin. So this is the concept of geographical indication. And then traditional knowledge, like turmeric has got a wood healing property. So this turmeric wound healing property is a traditional knowledge. We have known it for, but it is intellectual property. But you cannot file a patent application for this because it is already known. Patent means for invention, and invention is something new. So traditional knowledge is an IPR, is IP but not IPR. Okay. So these are the things. Now, anyone would like to ask me anything on these aspects, please feel free. Any uh, any confusion in all these IPRs? Anyone? Are you all here or not? In between, you have to unmute yourself and talk to me also during the class. Sehaj, are you still in the class or gone out?
Yes, I am here.
So bolo na.
So at the moment, I don't think I have a doubt, but yeah, I would like to go over it once later on my own as well. Then maybe next class I would come back.
Now, I'll tell you that why I am asking this question right now. There is a purpose that after today, you should use correct word for whatever the IP rights are there. You should not say that the copyright of my invention. Okay. Or I can get this trademark copyrighted, or I can get this trademark का patent करा लेंगे हम. Okay, when people start misusing the terminology because they don't have clarity, and therefore I just told you, if patents are for invention, trademark is the mark by which a product is known, design is the physical outlook. No invention, only the physical outlook. Okay, so rest others are very clear. So now I continue with it. So I think now in next 10-15 minutes out of this complete this thing, I will show you some slides to tell you the importance of this particular subject. देखो, these are the simple inventions. This sharpener, this is open sharpener, this is covered sharpener. So this is also an invention. Okay, because here when you sharpen the pencil, the peel of the pencil remains. You have to throw it out immediately. Here it can be put in this container. So these are all so many types of inventions which are very important. You can see this is some important inventions here also. How many important inventions are there? The whole surgery is possible only after invention of anesthesia. Printing press, all of us are educated because of the printing press, which made it possible to have multiple copies of the books in a shorter time. Sewing machine, all the fashion industry is there. Motion pictures, millions of people get employment and so much of entertainment from this. Okay, so many such things. These are the conditions of patentability. There is a patent application. Different, what are the contents in a different patent application? I'll show you that. There's a patent application only. A patent application looks like this. These are the claims in a patent on which you get the rights. These are different forms. Okay, for each form for different purposes there. When you go to the patent office, so many 20, I mean, these are the 27, 30 forms. This is a patent filing fee. Fee structure is there, patent filing fee, and these are the patent filing system. When you file in, within 1 year you can file the patent in any other country in the traditional method. Then under PCT route you can file in 30 months, 2.5 years in any other country. Then these are some of the data that China being the largest patent filing country, then USA, then Japan, then Korea and all that. So these are some of the database which I'll be sharing with you. Then this is how patent infringement becomes so unbearable. These are this top 10 patent awards. When you say top 10 patent awards, the award is the verdict of the court. Okay, it is not a positive award, but the terminology used is patent awards. So top 10 patent awards. These are the Microsoft infringed a patent of Alcatel-Lucent, and it costed Microsoft $1.52 billion. It was a software patent. Then what I put in red colors are the very popular companies. Eastman Kodak. Kodak, I think everybody knows about Kodak. Until 10-15 years back, we used to use cameras which used the Kodak roll film. So Eastman Kodak infringed a chemical patent of Polaroid in 1991. It costed $873 million to Kodak. Toshiba infringed Texas Instruments electronics patent, and that infringement costed it $500 million. Then Procter & Gamble infringed an spin brush incorporation patent in mechanical field. It costed $475 million. And Sony and Philips infringed Intertrust patent, which costed them the software patent, which costed them $453 million. So just you see that how expensive it is. And I think with this thing, can you come with camera? Camera on for a minute. All of you, please. Now, if this is the extent, Microsoft had to, pay $1.5 billion or 500, 800, 700 million dollars, other companies. So if in India we have got a system, chalta hai, chalta hai. I hope everybody knows Hindi also. Anyone who doesn't know Hindi? सबको मालूम है चलता है. क्या फर्क पड़ता है थोड़ा सा, क्या किसको मालूम पड़ेगा कि हमने एक पेटेंट उसको सॉफ्टवेयर को इन्फ्रिंज कर दिया. $1.5 billion, 1.52 billion dollar, huge sum. So in the corporate, if you say that कि you are not aware of it, तो आपको चलता है एटीट्यूड हो जाए, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा, किसी को मालूम ही नहीं पड़ेगा. पर ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ों का hundreds of millions of dollars का कंपनी को लॉस हुआ. कंपनी का लॉस हुआ तो उसका शेयर मार्केट में एकदम से कंपनी डाउन आ जाती है. यू आर अवेयर ऑफ कुछ यू आर डूइंग सम माइनर एरिया ऑल्सो. तो अभी लेटेस्ट एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज़ है इंडिया के कॉर्पोरेट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, गवर्नमेंट का डिसीजन. यू आर अवेयर ऑफ इट? 3-4 days back.
Retrospective tax law evasion.
जो कैन के ऊपर बैकडेट से टैक्स लॉ लगाया था वोडाफोन और टैक्स इनके ऊपर. वोडाफोन वाज इंडियन कंपनी बट कैन वाज ए फॉरेन कंपनी, एंड इन 2012 दे पुट ए टैक्स विद बैकडेट and they went to International Court of Justice and they won the case, and they were trying to have how many hundreds of millions of dollars of property of Indian government abroad, in particular in France and the USA. So Indian embassy's building would have been sold as a verdict of this thing. तो ये सब चीजें जो होती हैं, जो कि छोटे छोटे से कि ये थोड़ा सा किया हमने, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा इससे, कि मालूम थोड़ी पड़ेगा. पर जब मालूम पड़ता है, when it is known, then you know it. So every manager must know these implications. Okay, कि how patents are important and all these things, all of them should know it. Then a few other things which I'll tell you, important things. These are some of the patent search sites. I'll discuss with you later on. And when you want to search patents in a particular field, you have to use this. Industrial designs. You can see that this pencil is, the magnetic pin holder. One is a square base, other is a circular base. And this pencil, one pencil is a red pencil is circular pencil. This is a hexagonal pencil. Yellow one is hexagonal. There are two different types of mugs and all that. You see that there was a, these are different wall clocks. Functionality is the same. It is only the difference in the design. Okay, so these are the subject matter of design. Then trademark. Coca-Cola. Okay. When do we write TM and when do we write R on trademark? Like Coca-Cola, R will be there, something like this. So these are some of the Coca-Cola, Toblerone. These are the good chocolate. Godrej written in a particular manner. There, one is Perfetti's candy, other is Aman candy. So these are different types of copyrights. The geographical indications. Lipton, Darjeeling tea. Some plant varieties. And there are some WIPO administered international treaties and conventions. These are of different types on protection of intellectual property, Berne Convention for copyright, Paris Convention for industrial property, which includes design, trademark, and patents. Patents, design, and trademark is the this Paris Convention. Then these are the number of countries who have signed it. Okay, number of countries who are signatories to these global, these treaties. So one is the IP treaties. This is the global protection. That means one application is enough to get you protection from, one application for protection. All the countries who are the signatories of this, who are the signatories of the convention. So like Patent Cooperation Treaty, 152 countries are the signatories of the Patent Cooperation Treaty, PCT, and very high number. So why it is so much, so high number and all that, we'll discuss. These are the classification treaties. Nice Agreement is for the trademark classification, Locarno Agreement for the industrial design classification, Strasbourg Agreement for the patents classification, and this was the famous turmeric case. That it was two persons, Suman K. Das and Harihar Kohli, two persons of Indian origin, had filed a patent application and they were given the patent. Then it was all proved that it was already a known thing in India. Then the traditional knowledge, TKDL, traditional knowledge developmental library, which is of such a huge library, which documents India's traditional knowledge in the digital format. So this project started in 1998 and then concluded. So we'll discuss this. Then these are how the different High Court, Supreme Court, and all this. Then this is the India's IPR policy. looking at the importance of the IPRs for the national development, Government of India initiated this IPR policy, brought it in May 2016, and these are the main objectives of this thing. 7 key objectives of India's IPR policy. We'll see these things in more detail of all these objectives. These are managerial implications. An IPR promotion strategy for academia. This is my introductory thing, and I think it will take about 6 classes to complete this introduction. So I think in next 2-3 weeks I'll try to finish this so that you get the basic idea of all the thing. Okay, IPRs. So anything else? I'll leave last 5 minutes for asking anything if you want to ask anything. Any questions? You can keep your camera on.
Professor Jain, my apologies
how are
for the
you?
delay in joining.
Welcome. Now I told the students that you'll be joining a little late at the end of it. You just came or earlier?
Yes, maybe 2 to 3 minutes before. I'm so sorry I was late. Yeah. Hi, hello everyone. I'm
Hello,
the
ma'am.
course coordinator, but Professor Jain is going to deliver this class. Should be very interesting course, so enjoy the class.
I introduce you very briefly. You can introduce yourself better.
Oh, me myself.
Yeah.
Sorry. My apologies again for joining this late. My name is Eri Ikeda. I'm the course coordinator of this class. But to just repeat, this course is taught by Professor Jain, who has vast experience and the knowledge on this area. I'm probably intervene when the grade is going to be released. The rest, I'm leave it to Professor Jain and also Jishan to run the class. But if there's any issue or anything that I can help, please reach out to me via email. You should be able to find it easily in the email chat. Yeah, enjoy the class.
These students told me in the beginning of the class that some students tried to register and because of some prerequisites they could not register it, and that word has gone around. But now since the prerequisites have been removed,
Exactly. So please do encourage your
so a mail can go through IIT administration. There is a system by which a mail can be sent from your side to all students that this particular 2018 batch 4th year BTech students or dual degree program students can join this course. Okay.
We've actually sent already a request to the GSEC students who has all the contacts to the
a mail to the students so that they all know that this course is open to them.
Okay, I will check it and then get back to you. Sure.
Yeah. What they all suggested me. So, are you in the department or elsewhere?
I'm coming in after this.
You'll be coming to the department. I am taking this class from the department only. I am in the department. You are muted. You are muted.
Sorry, I'm going to drop by your office. Yeah. The rest, I think now student can ask you a question. Yeah. Yeah.
So, anything you want to ask? So I think we close out today's class. Hello. Please switch on your camera so that madam can also see all of you. So these are all our friends. The background picture is very good, Dr. Ari. Your background picture is very good. I am in the syndicate room of the department, 4th floor. So, anything all of you would like to ask Professor Ari, she can respond to you. Or Professor Ari, if you want to ask any one of them anything, please.
I think I'm not going to ask any questions because this is the first session, so they can be relaxed. Yeah. But feel free to reach out to me if there's anything. Thank you.
Okay then. Thank you very much. Bye. So Jishan, you can close the thing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'm going to drop by your office, Professor Jain. How long will you